Hey everyone, and welcome to this new speed build in The Sims 4, and today I'm building a community lot, which I'm usually not building because I'm not that comfortable when it comes to building community lots. And this place actually does not really look like a community lot, it looks more like a house, but there's a reason for that. Or at least I found some kind of an explanation on why the place that I've built looks like a house and not a community place, and I'm going to tell you everything about that. So this place is actually a cafe, and I built it for the Garden Gnomes because I'm actually really disappointed that there's not a real place for the Garden Gnomes to hang out at, because I do like the Garden Gnomes a lot. Actually, with Get Together, the two clubs that I enjoy the most playing with are the Good Timers and the Garden Gnomes. The Good Timers because all of their activities are actually activities that I do when I go out with my friends. I go out to bars and we play some foosball, we play some darts. And also when we go to their place, to their apartments, or when they come to mine, we just play some card games, some games, some table games that we can actually play in The Sims 4. And this is probably why I do enjoy playing with the Good Timers that much. I've never actually been into a real nightclub. I've heard of people who went there, and they told me how it was over there, and it's really not a place that I'm attracted to, so this is also probably why usually my Sims don't really go to nightclubs, or when they go to nightclubs, it's not how usually people hang out at nightclubs. I don't know if that makes sense, but I've never been to a real nightclub, so I don't really enjoy having my Sims hang out with people who just go clubbing in a way. And the Garden Gnomes, I love this club because I love gardening in The Sims. In real life, I'm not that good with gardening. I actually don't really like having my hands in the dirt. It's something that, in a way, makes me really uncomfortable. I don't really like that. I'm actually really scared to find spiders and weird stuff in the ground, which, I mean, it's normal, it's natural, but it's something that scares me a lot, so I'm not that comfortable when it comes to gardening in real life. But in The Sims, I enjoy that so much, especially in The Sims 4, and more recently in The Sims 3, because on stream, I'm playing a Generations family, and the mother is actually a gardener, so she gardens a lot, and this is my way of exploring the gardening system in The Sims 3. Since I haven't played that much with The Sims 3, and I've been enjoying a lot the gardening system in The Sims 4, so I wanted to experience it in The Sims 3, and I enjoy it quite a bit, even though the family has been, there was a half season in my Sims 3 game, and the family just came out of winter, so yeah, the plants were still dormant just a little while ago, so I haven't really played with the gardening system in The Sims 3 yet, just a little bit, but I'm still trying to explore that a lot, and it's a whole lot of fun actually to play with the gardening system in The Sims, so this is why these two clubs are my favorite. But I feel like the Garden Gnomes, they don't really have a good place to hang out at, because they're just hanging out at the park, and there's only maybe two potted plants, potted place to plant stuff and grow stuff, and with seasons you have most of the plants go dormant during the winter time. And I've actually started a new current household recently. I don't know if my Sim is actually going to join the Garden Gnomes, but they go to the park quite often, and I really find that sad that the Garden Gnomes don't really have anything to do in the winter time. So this is why I decided to build this place, and there's a greenhouse, there's some potted stuff outside, to plant plants. I really don't remember the name of these things. I'm going to call it potted plants, even though it's not really that, but you will know what I mean. So we have some potted plants for them to grow stuff on the outside of the building, but you also have a greenhouse with 3 potted plants inside. They can also work on their gardening, flower arranging skill actually. And there's also a bee box inside in the greenhouse. And I decided to make this place as a cafe, and this is when I'm actually going to tell you the story of this place. So this cafe used to be a house, which is why it looks a lot like a house, and there was a family living there, and then the children grew old and they decided to move out of the place, and they had a family of their own, and then there was just the 2 original parents who were living here, and then there was only one person living in this house because the other one passed away, as you can guess. And this person was a grandparent, they had grandchildren, and all of their grandchildren were actually living outside of Windenburg, but one. One stayed behind, and this person was in the Garden Gnomes club. And they were actually getting kind of tired of hanging out at the park because there was not a whole lot to do, and when their grandparent passed away, they inherited this house and they decided to turn this place into the hangout for the Garden Gnome. So at first it was just a place for the Garden Gnome to hang out at and just have a place to garden, just get a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, some croissants, some pain au chocolat, just some stuff for them to have a good chat and just have a good time together. And then they realized that they could actually make money through this place, and so they decided to turn it into a cafe and be the owner of this place and make money this way while hanging out with their clubs. And this is how this place became a cafe. So at first, as I'm imagining it, of course, there was just the downstairs that was the hanging out place, and then there was the upstairs that was kind of an apartment place where that person was staying at. And then they earned more money through their careers and they decided to move out and turn the upstairs into some kind of a more relaxed place. And there's actually a bar upstairs, so I'm thinking that maybe sometimes they can have some private parties for people to come and celebrate birthday parties or bachelor or bachelorette parties, maybe graduation celebration, hopefully one day. So, just people just for that people can hang out in this place. And so this is why this place looks a lot like a house and not really like a cafe. It's because it used to be a house. There's also a swing set outside because there is Lucas Munch, who's a child, and I think one of the requirements for this club is to play with children's stuff. I'm not even sure of that. But because there's Lucas Munch into the Garden Gnomes club, I was thinking that maybe he could just come out there and play on the swing set. I didn't place any monkey bars anywhere because there was not a whole lot of room anywhere on the lot left. There's also the scarecrow. I forgot his name. But there's the scarecrow as well because this is something related to gardening in a way. So this is a good place for the garden gnomes to hang out at. And I'm actually really happy with how this place turned out to be. And I think it can easily also be renovated into a house and turned into a house with at least 2 bedrooms. Because the upstairs is actually quite spacious. And you can easily make a bedroom downstairs. Actually, the place where I've placed the cafe bar, where you can get your cafe, your coffee, your tea or your croissants. This I was imagining that it was the kitchen, and then on the right side of the house, when you're looking at the front of the house, on the right side you had the dining area with the living room maybe just in the same space in a way, and then you could have added maybe a bathroom where I've placed the toilets. There's actually only one toilet in this place, which might be a little bit difficult, but usually the Sims don't really use the toilets that much. Actually, I've realized that Sims use a lot the toilets when they go to the gym. Probably because they're getting dirty and all of that kind of stuff, but there's a lot of people in the bathrooms at gyms lots, but not really in other places, so I guess that's fine. Otherwise, maybe we can add later on another toilet. We'll have to see. But as I said, I've started a new current household, and I would like to use this video to talk to you a bit more about this current household, which I'm thinking making a video soon enough, because I've been missing making current household updates on my channel. If you've been on the channel for a little while, you must know of a family called the Lemon Color family, which was by far one of my favorite families of all time in The Sims. And I loved them so much, and I've actually played through almost 5 generations with this family. But when Seasons came out, I actually wanted to experience and experiment with all of the new gameplay that was added with Seasons, and I didn't feel like the members of the family that I was playing with suited the Seasons gameplay, so I just put the family on the side, I left them on my save file, and I started a new current household, which I also did some updates on the channel, which was the Spring into Summer and Autumn into Winter Legacy Challenge, which I kind of left afterwards because I did not really get attached to the family, and then I wanted to go back to the Lemon Color family, but I didn't find the save, and I don't know what happened to this save, and I don't know where they are, and I was so sad. And since then I've been trying to recreate what I had with the Lemon Color family and kind of go through a generational type of gameplay and see the family tree grow and have children, and I've been trying to do that ever since, well, pretty much a month or 2 after Seasons came out. I've been trying to do that, but I don't know, it hasn't been the same. And I'm so sad to have lost the Lemon Color family because I loved this family so much, and I'm just so sad. And so as I said, ever since I've been trying to recreate what I had with the Lemon Color family, and I just got bored with the Sims I was creating, with their stories, with who they were. I just didn't get attached to them as much as I was with the Lemon Color family. But recently I created a Sim who I actually think is kind of interesting, and I used also the random legacy generator to kind of create some hobbies that this Sim could have, because of course I had an idea of who they were, but it was not that interesting. I wanted to add a bit more and explore a bit more the gameplay of the Sims, especially through Get Together. because I haven't really experimented that much with the club system as well as the retail system in The Sims. I mean, I've had a lot of retail stores and stuff like that, but I haven't really explored with that much. So I wanted to explore that with this sim, so I'm not going to go into too much detail on the current household. But I've been playing with the retail system with this sim, I've also been playing with the club system, and I'm just so excited to update you guys on this sim, but I'm just waiting for the good time so that I could have a lot to tell you about this sim and introduce you to them. But I've been enjoying the gameplay so much, and so I've been building this cafe into the same save as my current household. And I think this sim is going to hang out sometime with the Garden Gnomes. They're not a part of the Garden Gnomes, but maybe at some point, maybe they can be a part of this club. I don't know, but they're friends with most of the members of the Garden Gnomes, so I think sometimes they can go and hang out with them at this cafe. And I'm just so excited one day to update you on this sim and what's been happening with them and to them as well. So this is pretty much all that I had to say about this build and about what I was thinking when I was building it. So of course you can find in the description all of the information to download this slot on the gallery. You can find it using my origin ID, which is Modem11. There's also a link to the gallery for you to download it on the online gallery. And I'm going to leave you here, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this speed build and that you will enjoy the rest of this speed build. And I will talk to you in the next one.